Okay, are you going to hit the record button?
It's recording, like since
now
10
it's
minutes
recording.
ago. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Chai With Us podcast. This is episode number 4. I am Erika, the personal developer,
And I'm Ivana from okoloizabells.
For today's episode, we are going to talk about self-care and grounding practices, meaning big stuff, big time over here. Ivana, where do you want to start?
Well, let's talk about like what actually is a grounding practice. What does that mean to people that don't understand what grounding is?
Okay, so a grounding practice is basically anything that can help you feel grounded. What does it mean to feel grounded? When you are grounded, you feel that your mind, your body, your spirit, you feel like they are connected, and you feel that you are connected with the universe, with the environment around you. So basically is a balance. When you feel grounded, you feel it in alignment, or you feel balanced. That's how I feel about it.
It's like looking at electrical systems. If you know anything about that, when it's live and it's full of energy, you can get electrocuted, and so you have to ground the electrical system first before you work on it. And it's the same idea with people. Like sometimes you ever get shocked by pressing something because you're depending on like what sweater you're wearing, that's the electricity you have within your body as well. So it's important to do these grounding practices to feel connected to Mother Earth. And a simple grounding practice is walking barefoot on the earth to really feel the grass and the earth, and you feel connected because the earth has a pulse, right? It has this energy within itself. So when you ground, you're connecting to the source, to Mother Earth.
Yeah. And what about self-care? What is it?
Self-care, what is it? Self-care is anything that has you taking care of yourself. And I think as women, sometimes we don't put so much effort on self-care because we have things that we need to take care of. Maybe we have children that need to come first. Maybe we have a husband. And so I think it's very important for women to do self-care. And self-care can be going to the spa and getting a massage, or it can be you waking up early and doing your own massage on yourself. Self-care is just such a broad subject to discuss.
Yeah, I totally agree with your definition. Basically, something that makes you be okay. You need to take care of yourself. So the importance of self-care and grounding practices, I think it's the same. I think it's saying that you need to take care of yourself first before you jump into anything in your life. So you need, tell me.
We forgot to mention what tea we're drinking.
Yeah, I know. I was taking notes. I was like, tea.
It's a big part of our podcast.
It's a big part of our podcast. Okay, so what are you drinking?
I am drinking, it's called lychee with rose, and I think it came from either Malaysia or Shanghai. It was a gift, and it's a beautiful black tea. Very soothing.
Love it. Okay.
You?
I'm drinking ginger tea. Simple ginger tea.
Always a good choice.
Lovely for inflammation, pain. It's really good. I love drinking this. I love drinking this tea and also using ginger in whenever I can because I know that it's good for my health. So and it's also a very grounding moment because it's so cozy, right? I feel grounded.
I love that you mentioned this because sometimes when I'm doing my morning meditations, just the act of holding a warm cup in my hands and doing breathing exercises is so grounding because you can feel the heat from the cup, and it's so comforting.
Yes, and it's like your sensations and your mind and everything comes together. Yes.
And self-care can be you having a cup of tea, just taking 5 to 10 minutes out of your day and just sitting there, not working, not looking at Instagram, not looking at Facebook, but just really being present and drinking your tea and enjoying that present moment, right?
Yeah, that's totally true. We're going to have a long conversation about self-care because there's so many things that you can do, and not everything is for everybody. But we have plenty of options for you that I hope that are
Yes.
useful. Yeah. What do you do to stay grounded?
What do I do?
Mm-hmm.
I wake up and I do certain yoga poses to help ground. Tree pose is
Mm-hmm.
excellent. I love holding tree pose longer than you're supposed to because it's allowing you to connect to the earth. I have my cup of tea in the morning, just by myself, and I don't wake up and check my phone immediately because I really like, for me, self-care is being in silence. So I love being silent from 7:30 until about 9 and really just not talking to anyone, just being by myself, tuning into how do I feel today? Is something bothering me? Am I feeling queasy about something? Like what's going on inside? I think that's why self-care is so important because it makes you listen to yourself. Like the world, the society we live in, it's always like external, right? Like we're always responding to our surroundings and other people, but self-care makes you tune into yourself and see, why do I feel this way this morning? Like why did I wake up feeling grumpy? Like was it something that
Mm-hmm.
happened yesterday or last night, or is there something that I'm regretting doing today at work? Like what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
So I think for
Yeah.
me it's asking self-reflective questions to myself and answering them.
I love it. I love it. Good. You know what? Your list is more or less like mine. But let me just share what I had. So
Okay.
you are. I think that I'm going to say yoga and meditation every time we speak because they are the base of everything I
Mhm.
do. I think so.
Yes.
I use yoga to stay grounded. Like yoga, there are certain poses, as you mentioned, that are great for you to feel grounded. Um, but yoga in general is union of the
Mhm.
mind, body, and spirit. So I had to mention yoga because yoga makes me be in the moment with
Mhm.
myself, with my breathing, focusing on my poses and flowing. So yoga is a must for me to stay grounded. Meditation and silence also, usually meditation followed by silence, or basically just go to a room and be silent. I
Mhm.
actually sometimes do entire days of silence. I
Oh,
love
I
it.
love that.
Yeah, every
How does
three
your
to four
boyfriend like that?
months. Well, yeah. Well, now that we are living together due to this quarantine, I will try not to do this. but but in a few months, I think that I'm going to need it. So we'll see how it goes. I will let you know
You made
after.
you made a good point. If you are actually in silence, why don't you just tell your partner that you're practicing silence instead of them believing that you're giving them the silent treatment?
Oh no, no, what? No, he knows that I do this kind of
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
but
yeah,
we
I know
never
you
go
do.
silent.
I know.
Oh, that was a
This is
joke. I'm so slow. I am so slow. I was like still
It's okay.
thinking.
It's Friday.
It's Friday for us, everybody. For you, it's Tuesday. Okay, we don't want to mess
Oh,
your
that's right.
head. We don't want to mess up with your head. It's Tuesday for you. Okay. And I was so distracted thinking about what if this quarantine just keeps going and I need to go silent, and how am I going to do my silence day? What's going to
Okay.
happen? Maybe we both go and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Why
that's a
not?
good thing to think
Maybe
about.
he'll like it. He might enjoy it.
Yeah, I think so. He's kind of adventurous. I think it's well,
To be honest, I hated it. When I first went to Pulchati as a participant and we had
yeah.
the silence, I was
Uh-huh.
never silent. Like I was always the bad kid talking or saying something. Like I could not handle the silence because internally I had all these things that are going on that I never addressed. Like I never addressed
Oh.
certain trauma that I had. And so being silent kind of like made all this like come up, and it was horrible. Like, ooh. So you have to be
Oh.
careful with the silence, like when to actually do it, when it's beneficial and when it's not. But now I
Yeah.
love it. Now I see the
Oh,
benefit of it.
I love silence. Okay, first time I tried being silent for so long was at the Pulchati ashram.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I was like, oh, this is so good. Nobody's gonna ask me anything. Like, I don't have to say anything. Oh my God, it was
I can't
great.
remember. Did you have a roommate? Did you have a roommate when you were there?
Yeah, she was speaking.
Oh, okay. Who was your
Yeah.
roommate? I don't remember.
No, no, no. I didn't have a roommate. No,
Ah,
no.
okay. I didn't
That
think
she
so.
she wasn't. No, I was by myself, and then I met another girls, and some of them were
Yeah.
speaking.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we should. I can talk about silence forever, which is kind of ironic. But I have really good tools and methods for you to do it.
Okay.
Just like, but I think that that should be like an entire episode on silence and
Yeah,
meditation. I
for
think
sure.
because you
Yeah.
don't need to go all the way in. You don't need to go for a week. You don't need to go for an entire day. If you start
Mhm.
slowly, I started slowly. If you start slowly, then you
Yes.
will see the benefits. And but let's put it on our list.
Oh, yes. I'll write it
And
down and add it to our
yeah,
list.
yeah, and we will do it for sure because I think it's so useful. And sometimes we think that we have to go all in. We need to like no, we can start slow and
Tiptoe.
yeah, tiptoe. Why not? It's valid as well. So sitting in silence and have silence days are very good for me to ground myself because I create the space I need
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
to navigate through life. Inquiry, which is just what you said, just check in, ask how I feel, uh, practice acceptance and gratitude.
Yes. Yes.
Big,
Very big.
big,
Mhm.
big, because once you start not accepting your reality and not being grateful for your life,
Mhm.
you lose your ground. Just forget about it. You're never going to feel grounded because like you don't like where you are, you cannot accept where you
Yeah.
are, and you're probably not going to do anything to change it because I mean
Mhm.
you're not grounding yourself and prepare to deal with the day, with the life, with the task, or whatever you need to do. And I would say mindfulness is also a big one that goes with acceptance and being in the present moment. I practice basically mindfulness during my day. I just got used to bring myself in. Like I sometimes I feel, well, I'm not really here, so
Okay.
I kind of pull myself in again. Uh, and mantras and affirmations. You're a big
Yes.
fan of mantras.
I am. I'm such a, and I forgot to mention this, that is actually something I do in the morning. So in the morning, I'll pick a mantra that I chant,
Yeah.
depending on, a lot of times I've, now right now, I've been chanting Om Ganapataye Namaha. It's for Ganesha.
I love
Beautiful
it.
mantra.
Yes,
It is actually for removing obstacles out of your life. And so that's the
mhm.
mantra I've been chanting in the mornings.
I love it so
Uh,
much. Uh,
Yeah, and you're so right. I forgot to mention that I kind of developed my own meditation style. So I use my mala, which has 108 beads, and I do one round of all the things I'm grateful for.
mhm,
Very simple things like today I'm grateful that I can open my eyes. Today I'm grateful that I can walk. Today I'm grateful that I can breathe. Today I'm grateful I'm not choking on my food. So just
mhm,
very simple things. And you realize that you have more than 108. Sometimes I'll do two rounds, and then it really brings life into perspective. Like sometimes we take things so much for granted, like when everything is normal, but then as soon as you break your leg, you're like, oh, now I can't move around, I can't walk. And then you start to
yes.
appreciate your leg. So it would be nice if you could appreciate and value all the things you have now without having to hurt yourself in a way, to realize
Mhm.
how lucky you are and how
Yeah,
healthy you are, and just how you are existing right now in this moment.
yeah. And getting used, the thing about gratitude is that you get used to see the good side of things. So
Mhm.
when something happens, you are so used to see the good side of things and to be grateful for what you have that you're going to say, okay, I have this problem, but it's not, you're not focusing only on the problem. You are
Mhm.
focusing on what you have around you, which is a whole life and everything that you can be grateful for, and this problem. That's a total different
Mhm.
perspective.
And I think maybe that comes from like us always being upset over a problem, maybe because we like the victim mentality.
Oh, yeah.
And the victim mentality essentially is that you believe that you're the victim of your life, that all these bad
Mhm.
things happen to you, that you cannot change them, and now you deserve, I don't know, like you deserve something to happen, but you don't want to have any impact on it because you don't believe that you're actually influencing your life. You believe that life is happening to you and that you have no choice and no say. And that's incorrect. At all
Mhm.
times it is up to you, to how you feel and how you correspond with people and the situation that you're in. If you don't like your job, start applying for new jobs. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? If you don't like the city you're living in, figure out a way of maybe moving apartments or like do something about it, because everybody has a choice. And if you're choosing to live as a victim, if that's what you believe, but you have a choice not to.
Yeah. And sometimes you cannot choose your circumstances, but you can choose what you're going to do about it. You can choose how
Exactly.
you're going to look at it. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's totally valid and very good point. Yeah, totally. Oh, before I forget, I am going to share with you the. I love. There's this mantra song on Spotify, which I think it's Edo and Joe. I don't know if I'm
Oh yeah,
pronouncing it.
Ito and Joe, yes.
Oh my God. I just, I go to work listening to this,
Which one is it?
Om Gam
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Ganapataye Namaha, and it goes like
Yes,
this, and
yes.
it's so beautiful, and
Mm-hmm.
like mantras sometimes we think it's like so woo-woo and whatever, but it's something as simple as turning on, get your Spotify ready, just put it
Yes,
over there and let it sing and let it sing,
yes.
and it works wonders. I love it.
Yeah,
I
Ito
love
and
it.
Joe are excellent. I highly recommend that our audience look them up on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, Joe has passed away, but they have created a compilation of many songs with mantras that are so good. I
Mm-hmm.
love. There's this song called Durga Ma, which is like chanting towards Mother Earth, and it's very good. That's usually the song I dance it out to in the mornings. Is Durga Ma. I highly recommend you
Oh,
guys look it up. Yeah,
yeah,
they're a
they
very good
are.
team.
Mm-hmm. They are. They are so good. Another thing I want to mention is that in order for you to stay grounded throughout the day, there's also a practice that I love. It's really simple, and it's just called setting intentions. Just
Mhm.
basically, you set intentions for your day. You wake up and you say, this is how I want my day to go. If you want to visualize it, you visualize it. If you want to write it down, you write it down. If you want to say it out loud, you say it out loud. If you want, while you are on your way to work or other places, just think about what is your intention for the day and what is your intention for the meeting? What is your intention for this party that you are attending? And if you do this throughout the day, it's a way of you to stay grounded and remember yourself. What do you want to
Mhm.
receive and what you want to transmit? And I
Mhm.
use this a lot, and it's great for me.
Mhm. Thank you for sharing all
Mhm.
those.
Sure, no problem. That's why we're here. Okay. Do you want to dig into self care?
Sure. Let's.
Sure. Okay, so as you notice, all the grounding practices are self-care. Okay, just to
Yes.
clear that out. So one way of taking good care of yourself is to have grounding practices. So
Mm.
you are in balance. Yeah.
Yes. And also we haven't talked about it yet, but setting boundaries is a
Mhm.
form of self-care. Like setting boundaries with, maybe it's with that sister who always calls you and all she does is talk about her problems but never ask how you are. Maybe
Mm.
setting boundaries with her and telling her that when you answer the phone call, what is this about? Is there anything positive you're going to tell me? And maybe limiting the phone call and telling her, I only have 5 minutes for you today, because we don't
Mm.
realize how much we are affected by the people that we talk to and surround ourselves with. I think you've heard that many times, that they say that you are a reflection of the five closest people that you have. So you
Mm.
start to talk like them, you start to think like them, because we're such social beings, we imitate behaviors.
Yeah.
So boundaries are very important, and they are a type of self-care, because you're picking yourself and you're picking your energy level, and you're letting other people know that, listen, this is the energy I'm going to stay in, and if something's going on, I'll help you, but it will be for a limited time, right?
Hmm. Okay, so yesterday you made like a very important question. You asked me like, Erika, what would you say that boundaries? How would you
Yes.
explain boundaries? Because as I told you yesterday, the first time I heard this word, I was like, ah, okay, right. So setting limits so people don't step on you.
Yes.
So yeah, so before I jump into all the things that I want to say, I would say that boundaries is basically a line, you
Yes.
know? This is you. Your values are here. The life you want to live is here. Uh, and you set a line for people not to cross and for
Yes,
yourself not to cross. Basically, that's it. That's what sets what is not acceptable to you.
exactly.
And it's really, really, really important that you think this through. Like, what is not acceptable? Because I didn't know. I was just living life, yeah? So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know what my boundaries were. I had to write them down. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
like this, I don't like this, I like this, I don't like this. So I had all these sort of crazy relationships. Yeah, so everybody was doing whatever. And I was complaining, but I wasn't setting boundaries. Boundaries. So
Mm-hmm.
then,
Yeah. I agree. For me, I think I was the same way. I didn't realize that you would have to have boundaries with friends and with people
yeah.
because as a child, I shared in other episodes, as a child, I would accompany my parents to adult meetings and translate for them. So I was never
Mhm.
given a choice of whether do I really want to help or not. I had to do it because I was the only one that learned the language faster. And so over time, that taught me that like I shouldn't have boundaries or that I was not allowed to say no. I first time I like remember like when when you say no, you say yes to yourself. But sometimes
Oh,
people
love
feel
it.
that, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Love
When you
it.
say, yeah, I now forgot what I said. No,
When you're saying no, you are saying yes to yourself.
yes to yourself. Exactly, you are. But I think for some of us, we almost need somebody to tell us that we have a right to do that. And for me, like I needed someone to tell me that, like, hey, you can say no to something. And that took a lot of like courage for me because I don't think I've ever said no to my parents or like, no, I don't want to do this.
Mhm.
So it comes from like I think trauma.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think trauma and for example, I had a life like full of violence, and I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do. I was living in a
Mhm.
reality that I didn't choose, and I didn't have the power to change it, right?
Yes.
So I couldn't say no because there was no option, and I lived kind of isolated because, secrets and everything. Uh,
Yeah.
so, and on top of that, I had to do things as well, for my
Mhm. Mhm.
family. I was doing this, doing that, taking care of that. You have got to do this. You have got to do that. You have got to do. And I was used to do it. So you just
Yeah.
do it. Then you grow up. You are an adult. You are free. And
Mhm.
how do you say no to people if all
Yes.
your life you never got a chance? And when
Exactly.
you said no, what happened to you in your childhood when you said no?
Exactly. That's very true. Like what
Probably
happened when you
something
said no?
very, yeah, probably something very
Yeah.
traumatic that
Yeah.
told you, that showed you that saying no is a bad thing. You
Exactly.
cannot say no because it's worse for you.
I agree
So
with everything you're saying right now because it's the same story. You
yeah,
at a young age associated no with being bad and you didn't want to get in trouble. So you just always said yes to everything. Yes to coworkers, yes to staying late to the office, yes
yeah,
for doing work that you don't really want to do.
yeah. And
Yeah.
you
So it's
go
almost like we
around.
have to reprogram ourselves in a way.
Exactly. That's exactly what we have to do. And the first thing is just allow yourself to say no. You
Yeah.
have got the right to say no.
And something very important I want to mention, no does not require an explanation. A lot of times we were
Oh,
taught, like as children, right? Like if you don't want to do something, you have to come up with an excuse like you're sick or something like that.
yeah.
No, if no is a final answer. It's a complete sentence. It does not
Yeah.
require a list of laundries of why you don't want to go somewhere or do something.
No, thank you.
Exactly, no. No, I don't want to go dancing this weekend because I just don't want to. And that's
Yeah.
okay.
And people should accept that. And once you are trained you train yourself to do this, then you start accepting other people's no's as
Yes.
well. Um, yeah, and it's difficult, guys. Don't think that we are here like, I just say no and whatever. Sometimes I say no, and I'm like, for 1 hour, she's
I should
gonna
have said
hate
yes.
me. She's gonna hate me forever. I'm such a bad person, selfish. Yeah, I deal with that as well, but it's a work in
Yeah.
progress. It's a work in
But I think
progress.
you're realizing that when you pick yourself, you are doing self-care and you're taking care of yourself, and then you can be a better person to other people that you're
Yeah.
around because you chose to go with your gut feeling. Like, what was your gut feeling telling you? You were in congruence in the same wavelength of how you felt inside, as opposed to having said yes and then not wanting to go. And that's my biggest pet peeve, when people don't say no at the beginning and then a week or
Yes.
two later they don't show up. I hate that. Like, just say no, it's okay, I accept that. But when you stand me up,
Yes.
or like
Yes.
send me some stupid excuse, I can't stand that. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
okay to
don't
say no
like
at the
that.
beginning,
Yeah, just say
because I think we're
no. It's
both like so
okay.
real. You know what I mean? Like, we accept that sometimes people just don't want to do something. It's okay.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. If you don't want to do something, it's cool. I rather don't do something with you today and have you next week, like the whole
Exactly.
you, energized you, the true you with me, than have you today and like and you're not even
Yeah.
there. So and that
Yeah.
goes for ourselves as well. Like you're saying yes, you don't want to do the thing, you don't want to be there, and you are not going you're not going to be there. I don't know, it's just it makes no
Also,
sense.
it doesn't make you trust these persons. So if this person has like stood you up once, they're going to do it again, and then it becomes like this cycle, and it's the same thing. So
Yeah.
then you cannot rely on them for anything anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally agree. So yeah, it's oh my, it's just so important. I cannot. Once the first time I said no, I just felt like, I was like the girl. I was like, whoa, that was so cool. And it feels so good. And you're going to notice that once you start saying no, people start to respect you.
Yes, I agree.
If you don't set that boundary, sometimes people don't know. They will do whatever
Right.
they want. They don't know. And once
Yeah.
they know, once you let them know, it's not like sometimes we see boundaries and saying no as a bad thing because they will feel no, you are respecting your energy and you are giving
Mhm.
yourself when you can, and you are helping them know where they are stepping in.
Yes.
And if a friend of mine, if I do something that I don't feel it, that is not right with my friend that I don't know, I would want this person to tell me because
Yes.
sometimes we really don't know.
Yeah. For me, it really was establishing boundaries with my parents, because for
Mhm.
them, even though they've lived 20 years in the US, they speak English perfectly. It's so much easier for their daughter to take care of the problem and to call up the company and talk to them about it, right, instead of them. But I started saying no, and I was away for 2 years, and they handled all of their problems, all of their issues on their own. And you know what was so beautiful about that? They felt empowered. They were empowered to know that they can handle their own problems. They did not need me to do it for them. So sometimes saying no will actually empower other people to do their work that they need to do.
Yes, yes, and helping them because sometimes we think that we are doing them a favor. That happened to me as well when I moved from Portugal. Like everybody's alive now, nobody died. They carry on with their
Yes.
lives. Like my brother's living in my room now. It's not my
Yeah,
room anymore. Like life goes on, and it's not like we're doing them a favor while
exactly.
allowing them this behavior because
Yes.
as soon as you know what you're doing, if you're not knowing, if you don't know, if you're not conscious, that's okay. But as soon as you know what you are doing and what they're doing, you are allowing and you are participating on it.
Exactly. I read this thing once that said, when you're helping another person, maybe you're interfering with their karma. Maybe it's a lesson that they need to learn. And you coming in to save, like sometimes I feel this need because we're both like helpers, so we had to do certain things
Yes,
as children. I'm always the
yes,
helper. Like, I always like run
yes,
in to solve the problem, but maybe I'm interfering with their process. Like, that's maybe a lesson that they need to learn themselves, to
yeah.
go and seek actual help with a psychiatrist or something. Like, but if they're always calling me for counseling sessions, well, that's not going to help them get any better because they're running away from something. So sometimes, like, we can be interfering with people's karma when we're like stepping in to solve all their problems.
Yes, it's true.
Um,
Yeah, it took me some time to learn that lesson, especially right now, not so much, but especially when I started to step into personal growth. I wanted everybody to go to this process. I want everybody around me to heal. But like, I mean, um, everyone has their process. I've accepted it
yes,
now. You know, and just let them do whatever. And do their thing, because sometimes it's not your bag to carry. It's not yours.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Mhm.
totally relate to
And
what you said.
we talked a lot about gut feelings. What does that mean to you? Like your gut feeling on
Is
something?
is when you know,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know, and you know. That's your gut feeling. That's like,
Yeah.
this is weird.
Yeah,
I
something is
shouldn't be
up
doing
or something's
that.
not as it should be.
Yeah, it's is that hmm. And then 6 months after, you're like, I know it.
Yeah, so this goes into beautifully into the Manipura, which is the solar plexus chakra. That is where our internal power is. So it's the upper part of your belly, and the element for that is fire, right? Fire in your belly because you're connecting to the sun. This is where your personal power comes from. This is where your gut feeling. So know when you're in a situation and somebody like might be a little bit fishy and your gut drops down, like something in your gut, you feel like it drops and all of a sudden you feel scared. That is your gut feeling. That is like your second brain. So your gut is connected to your brain.
Mhm.
This is where you might create emotional cords with people, and so it's about cutting these emotional cords that people might still have over you. This is where your digestive system is, and also a momentum to move forward in life. Like, sometimes when we're stuck and we're not moving, we're doing the same thing over and over again. That's when we
Mhm.
have an imbalance in this chakra. So when you start saying no to things and yes to yourself, you're being assertive and you're accessing this solar plexus chakra.
Mhm.
uh, you can
Yeah.
chant different mantras or just say, I'm confident in my power. I believe I have enough energy to reach everything I want.
Wow,
So I'm
that's
confident
powerful.
in my power. What does that mean to you? I'm confident in my power.
That means that I believe in myself and that I
Yes.
have what it takes to do whatever I need to do. That I believe
Hmm.
in my power, in my source. Yeah.
Yes, for me, it's like I am a mantra. It's like I am powerful. I respect myself by doing self-care, right? Like if you do self-care, you respect yourself and you honor yourself. Like so
Yeah.
much of women just want to like give and give and give. Well, you need to know
Yes.
that you actually have something to give from. If you're completely depleted in your energy, Erica said this before, honor your energy levels. What does that mean, honoring your energy levels?
It's like, it's basically just for you to feel where you are right now. Are you in right now? Are you in a place to give? Do you really have energy to give? Or should you charge or recharge before you give? So just uh, 1 month ago, no, 2 months ago, I had this meeting that I always have once a month, and I was exhausted. The meeting was at the end of the day, it was at 8 p.m. It was on a Monday. I was already exhausted. I had an entire week looking for me, like waiting for me. You know what I mean? And I was
Mm-hmm.
exhausted. And you know what I did? I just grabbed my telephone and sent a message to the girls. We have a group WhatsApp group. And I said, listen, girls, I would love to be with you today, but today I'm really going to choose self care.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you need from me, just write it in the chat. When I get the chance, I will answer it. And that's it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because I could, yes, I could have gone to the meeting. Yes, I could be very productive because I
Mm-hmm.
can. Yes, it's not because you can that you should do it. Another lesson that I've learned throughout
Exactly. Oh,
these
I like
years.
that. It's not because you can that you should do it.
Yes,
I like that.
because
I'm gonna write that
I can
down.
do everything. I can do everything. If you ask me all the professions I had in my life, I have them, you know, and I could do all of this. I can do 10 things a day. I can do 200 things a day. Should I do
Mm-hmm.
it?
Mm-hmm.
Or should I
No.
respect my energy?
Mm-hmm.
I rather
I
respect my
agree.
energy. I rather, okay, so I'm supposed to do 10 things today.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm supposed to rest today, and tomorrow maybe I'll do 20. So we are like a telephone.
Mm-hmm.
Telephone needs to charge, you know? We need to, our energy levels are up and then down, 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 down. And we need all these self-care practices
Right.
to ground us and to, refuel our energy. That's why we sleep.
Yes.
Yeah?
Exactly. Yes.
That's nice.
I think also like people talk about like when they first start dating, like, oh, I have butterflies in the stomach. That's not a good thing. You should not have butterflies in your stomach. It means it means that something is wrong, okay? You're laughing, but you know what I'm talking about.
I'm
If you have
laughing because I am guilty, okay? That's why I'm laughing.
I was always this person like, oh, in the movies, it's butterflies. Yes, this is it. This is the one. I have these butterflies. No,
No,
that's
you're
your gut.
stressed.
Your energy system saying, run away, girlfriend, run. Close the door and run. This is not it for you, okay?
Oh my God.
Okay, all the source, the earth wanted to protect you from something, but no, you listen to those butterflies, and here you are.
Yeah. In the same situation. Uh,
No, I say this because it's true, right? Like we're
it's
made
true.
to believe that you need to have these butterflies. No, I mean it's fine to be a little bit nervous, but if you
Mhm.
really are having like your stomach is upset, that means that your system is on and it's something that like maybe you're not consciously aware of, but your
Mhm.
subconscious knows that something is not right. So you really have to feel like when you're with the right person, you'll feel calm and relaxed and at peace, and there will
Yeah, and
not be
it
like this turmoil in your
flows. You're
stomach.
not stressed all the
Exactly.
time. You're just chilled. It's just happens. Things happen, and you're like,
Yes.
"Oh, no problems. Oh,
Exactly. It's okay. Like you feel at
yeah.
calm, peace, like your stomach is okay. It's not like no butterflies. Okay, butterflies are not a good thing.
Lesson of the day. Lies are okay.
That's the message I have today.
That's a really good message. I had a really good story with this kind of gut feeling. Yeah. So
Yes,
I was
let's
dating
hear.
this person very briefly. Okay, and there was one evening that he like everything he touched would fall.
Would
Like for
fall.
example, yes, he would get his phone and it would fall.
Yeah.
Actually, he tried to light up one of my lamps,
Okay.
and the light just did like it was so great. I was like,
That was like universe run, girl. You're in trouble. You better
yeah.
run.
I was like, what? Maybe we shouldn't date because your energy sucks.
You know what this reminds me of? Have you seen Ghosts with Whoopi Goldberg when she's like the psychic that tells the girl that she's in trouble? Do you remember that from the
I
scene?
don't remember that movie.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever then. Never mind. But there's a funny scene where she's like, "Girl, you're in trouble. Like you need to run."
But yeah, we still like this was like I think sometimes I'm so connected with the universe that I receive signs from everywhere. And this was one of those moments where I was like, okay, cool, okay, thank you, let's go. It was so obvious, seriously. And then it was of course it was right. Okay,
My
so
cheeks are hurting.
yeah, I'm like, it's mine too. So
Okay.
yeah, self-care, listening to your gut feeling. If
Yes.
you are not, listen, pay attention, focus here. You are not crazy.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes, that's a very good point. A lot of women have very good intuition, and people always tell us like, "Oh, you're crazy. That didn't happen." Well, guess what? I know that you're cheating, so I guess I wasn't crazy. But a lot of times
Mhm.
they'll just say like, "Women's intuition. Oh, you're crazy. That didn't really happen." That's not true. Like I think sometimes women are a little bit more open to the signs and to the
Yeah.
feeling of energy that we are better able to connect and pick up on these little clues and hints that the earth is always sending us.
Mhm.
Um, I forgot to mention that you can chant Ram, R-A-M. You can do that chant for this solar plexus chakra.
Mhm.
Or there's three yoga poses that are very good, boat pose, warrior one and warrior two, because they're very powerful poses, right? Like warrior
Yes.
one and warrior two, because you're in
Yes.
your power. You are this assertive person that can set up boundaries for people. You have to believe in yourself and believe that it's okay to say no and say yes to yourself.
Yes. Oh, I love
Yes,
this
yes.
so much. I'm like, yes, yes. I love this so much. And self-care also goes with self-love.
Yes.
Yeah. So love yourself. Figure out a way of loving yourself. I think this is a
Mhm.
complete whole episode on that. But a few things that you can do to start loving yourself is use your mirror, talk to yourself.
Mhm.
Same thing I said the other episode. Look in the mirror. Say I love you, I love you, I love you like crazy. If you need to forgive something that you have done, do it. You know,
Mhm.
journal a lot. Say good things about you. Write down good things about you every day.
Yes.
Just grab a journal and write good things about you. Write your achievements. Write
Mhm.
everything that makes you who you are and start working on that. And another thing that I want to tell you is like, be your best friend. I
Yes.
mean,
Yes.
we are, I mean, I had beautiful, gorgeous, amazing friends, but they do horrible things to themselves. Like, you
Yes.
don't go to your friend and, oh, you look fat. Oh, you are so
Mhm.
stupid. Oh, you idiot. I mean, so why would you say those things to yourself? Start
Exactly.
tracking all the things that you say to yourself and start
Mhm.
changing them around.
Yes.
Affirmations like crazy, writing down positive things, consuming positive things as well. And
What a
start.
powerful thing it is to be to self-love yourself. You know what I mean? Because when society tells you, oh, society tells you, oh, you need to have plastic surgery, you need to have this kind of makeup, you need to have this kind of exercise program. Like society wins when they can get you to feel bad about yourself. But society doesn't win so much when you are actually powerful and you know what you want and
Yeah,
how you feel and you feel positive about yourself.
yeah, and you don't need anything, so you're gonna buy
Exactly.
just whatever you want to buy. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And there's this book I read called The Untethered Soul, or no, yeah, The Untethered Soul by Michael Sanger, I think it was. And in
Mm-hmm.
it, he talks about like what you just mentioned. If all this talk in your head that's going on all day is your friend sitting on the couch with you, would you continue to be friends with them? Or
Oh.
would you like kick them out of your apartment? You would probably kick them out of the apartment because you're so negative to yourself all day long. But you don't have to be that way. You can start being positive towards yourself and forgiving
Mm-hmm.
yourself for things. So Eric already mentioned like mantra chanting, doing a gratitude journal, and you don't realize like how grateful you are until you start listing out all those things that you have that are in your life.
Yeah. And once you make peace with yourself, you're gonna see your entire life will change. We are in this goal setting society right now. Everybody has goals and big lives and busy and everything. Like, go to the base of stuff. Start loving yourself, start taking care of yourself, and from
Mhm.
that place, you are going to fly. You are going to
Yes.
fly because you are going to do things from another
Mhm.
place, from a place
I
of
agree.
love, from a place of care. Yeah.
And your friendships might change. Some friends might fall away, and that's okay. Maybe they're not, they're a friend for a season. That's something that I read somewhere and I love, it's always stuck with me. You meet people for seasons. So maybe it was just for that one season in your life, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe you'll reconnect later down the line. You never know. But right now, they're on their own journey, and you're on your journey,
Mm-hmm.
and that's okay.
Yeah, it was season, reason, and lifetime. So
Ah, yes,
sometimes
exactly.
friends are with you only for a season. And listen, that's okay. That is okay. People don't belong to us.
Exactly. Thank you for saying that. I believe, yes, it's true.
Sure, it is hard because we think that people belong to us, but they don't. Everyone has their own path. So if they're with us for a season, say thank you. That was a good season. Whatever you learned and loved and everything, that was cool. So.
And this also goes towards the parent-child relationship. A lot of immigrant families, like the children feel that they belong to their parents and they have to do
Mm,
what their parents want. And I see this a lot where like the foreigners came over to the US, they started working really hard jobs because they wanted to educate their kids so they could have a better life. And then the child feels obligated and they might be in a job that they hate out of obligation. But if you're hating your life, you're not doing anyone any service. Like your parents want you to live your best life. Your friends want you to live your best life. So you
mhm.
have to do what's right for you, not what's right
Yeah,
for other people. And that I know how hard that is. Because I've had to go through that too. It's one of the hardest things that you have to do. But you have to pick yourself.
yeah. And everybody has their version of a good life. You should find your own version because sometimes your parents they want the best for you according to their beliefs, to their level of
Exactly.
conscious. And so
Mhm.
sometimes you cannot listen to it because it's not you. So you find your version and go after it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's so beautiful when you start like to me saying no to people is so nice now. It's still hard, but I'm
Yes.
picking myself and that's okay, you know?
Yeah, and it's I think that no is very liberating. No, it's
Mhm.
liberating. Once you started seeing it as a normal word, just like yes, whatever, it's just another decision. You can decide to say yes, you can decide to say no.
Mhm.
It is your right, it's your life. So you once you realize that, you're like, yeah, okay. And then when you say no and you stay at home, that was a good decision. That's what I needed to do. Like,
And
yeah.
sometimes we don't even know how the other person is going to respond when we tell them what our opinions are because we have all this like, going on in our head and we think we know how they're going to respond, but that not might not be the case. So
Yeah.
it's about having honest communication with people and people will start to respect you more for it.
Yeah, and sometimes they don't want to go out as well.
Exactly, just took that one person saying no.
Did it happen to you? Like one of those days you're like, oh my God, I don't want to leave the house. I don't want to leave the house.
Yes,
And then you
yes.
receive the message and you're like, eh. It happens to me. Well, I love it. Ah, I'm sorry, I'm having a moment just thinking about it.
I
I'm just
know,
like
I love it.
all happy.
See, that's the kind of reason you need to have when you meet someone. It shouldn't be these butterflies in the stomach. It needs to be like a little dance.
Yeah, it's like, oh, go. Okay. I think we covered what we wanted to cover. What do you think,
Yeah,
Ivana?
I don't really have anything else except, maybe you want to start another self practice you can do is doing self massages with essential oils. There's certain oils for
Mm.
different chakras, for different emotions, feelings that you're having, and you can in Ayurveda they recommend that you give yourself a massage before going to bed every night, and so then you can connect with yourself more.
Mm-hmm. I love that tip. I love it. The only thing I wanted to add is just, sometimes we forget about the basic stuff.
Mhm.
So I just want to remind people, it's just basic stuff, okay? So basically, I had a list, I don't know what it is. Basically, just eat well,
Yes.
okay? According to your body, okay? I'm not gonna tell you the diet that
Mhm.
you should have. Eat well, drink water, plenty of water, especially when you wake up. I sometimes fail with this and I feel the difference, but when you wake up, drink water, hydrate yourself. I am terrible to drink. For me to drink water is very hard. I
Mhm.
forget, I prefer tea, I drink juice, it's just like a whole nightmare. But when I have a glass of water in the morning, I hydrate myself more.
Mhm.
So do some type of exercise. It's always good for you. Or just move, dance, walk, but move your body. Just keep,
Mhm.
this energy needs to go somewhere, and our
Yes.
body just, it accumulates things. Um, Sleep.
Mhm.
If you need 7 hours, sleep 7 hours. If you need 8 hours, sleep 8 hours. Like I need 7.5, 7 hours and a half.
Yes.
If I sleep 7 hours, 20 minutes, I'm gonna have a problem.
Yes.
So just figure out what it is, try it out. Sleep 9 hours, that was too much. Sleep
Mhm.
7, that was too little. And just try it out because once you have no idea the difference that will make in your life if you get good sleep, like good quality sleep.
Yes.
Due to all the trauma that I've been through, I couldn't sleep basically most of my life. I had nightmares. I didn't sleep well. It was after I started meditating, I could sleep, and I was like, oh my god, that's how
There's
they
actually a reason that you said that. Yeah.
yeah.
You go into REM sleep when you sleep 9 hours, 7.5, and 6. So it's an hour and a half difference. So you're actually achieving REM sleep. That's why you couldn't sleep 7 because it wasn't enough. So you need to sleep 7.5. So there's a scientific proof for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So
Okay,
you were doing it and you didn't even realize, but you're listening to your body.
I'm just listening to my body. Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. Good to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. Once I discovered how people actually sleep, and how good it is, I was, then, I was feeling like more awake, more
Mhm.
happy, more everything, more energized. So get some sleep, okay? So we're in
Mhm.
this quarantine, and people are like watching Netflix until 3 and then wake up. Just don't go crazy over it. Just get some sleep,
Yeah.
because it's the basic stuff. It looks like it's not important, but it is.
Mhm.
And that's it. That's my basic stuff.
Also going out for walking, getting some vitamin D, like well, now it's
Oh.
hard, but once the quarantine is over, making sure that you're
Mhm.
outside for about 30 minutes so you can get some essential vitamin D, because a lot of autoimmune diseases are associated with a lack of vitamin D,
Oh.
and so that's why it's important that you get your vitamin D.
It's very important. Oh, that's good. Thank you for sharing. Didn't know
You're
that.
welcome.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it for today, everybody.
Yes.
That was
Thank you
so
so much for
cool.
joining us.
Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Subscribe if you liked it, like if you liked it, activate the notifications and
Yes.
comment and share with everybody if you would like to support us. We are going to place our email here, Chai with Us podcast at gmail.com. I wonder if by the 100th episode I managed to say this the correct way. But yeah, just email us. Just share with us, what did you learn with this episode? Are you going
Yeah.
to try something new? Just let us know whatever you would
Yeah.
like, and if you have questions, just send us questions, and we are going to answer on the next episode or the other one. Okay? Thank you very
Perfect.
much,
Sounds good.
everybody. Bye
Thank you. Bye bye.
bye.